Hopefully this lighting is okay. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Ria, and in today's video we are going to be going through every single series that I am currently in the middle of. Get yourself a drink, a coffee, whatever you like to drink. This is going to be a long one. As my stats tell me, I have this little series tracker on Google Sheets that I found through Ellen Catherine, who found it through, I don't know, I'm not sure who, but I found it through Ellen Catherine, and I know for sure that she found it through someone else that she personally watches, and it's perfect. It kind of has all my stats. It's telling me that I've got a total of 43 series on here right now, but I know for sure that I think it's 4 of them are not started. They're ones I have on my TBR that I haven't started yet, so we won't be including those. And I've also got, I think it's 3 or 4 that I've completed or I've DNF'd, crossed out, etc. So we are just going to be going through all of these today. I obviously won't include ones I've completed or ones I've DNF'd because there's no point. I just love having reading stats, bookish stats. So I would love to watch videos like this myself, and I just think it's fun to film. I think if my calculations are correct, if I've subtracted correctly, I think I should have around 36 series that I am currently in the middle of. Is that bad? I'm sure it was worse, but I don't even know if this is correct. I think it should be, but I'm not 100% sure because I'm not very good at updating these. What this is showing me is that we have a total of 43 series, 2 are completed, and I'm up to date with 9. So that's a decent amount, I think. I mean, and then we have series per genre. I have 6 that are dark romance, 11 that are romance, and 26 that are fantasy. We're going to get straight into the series I have started and I'm yet to complete, and we will just go from there. The first series I have is the Addicted series. I have read 1 out of 10 books in this series because I'm going to be reading it the way you do with the Calloway sisters, etc. This is obviously a complete series and I'm in the middle of it. I've only read 1 book, so I have Ricochet to next go into. I don't know how I feel about this series so far. Obviously I've only read 1 book, so I don't have a lot to say. I don't have a lot of knowledge of everyone in this series so far. I've only read 1 book, so I have a lot more to go into. I've got 9 books left, but I'm just not sure how I feel about Lillian Lowe so far. But I do definitely want to continue this series because I know I want to read Kiss the Sky and then the next series. Is it Rose and Connor? And then Daisy and Mike. Yeah, I definitely want to read those books, and I think I will be giving these books a chance as well because obviously I've only read 1. It's not enough to get to know these characters and their story, and I've heard so much about them and I know so many people love them, so it's just, I definitely want to continue this series and see more. I just need to get around to it. Then we have the ACOTAR series. Obviously this series isn't complete, so I am currently up to date. I've read all 5 books that are out so far, and I am just waiting for the next book to come out. After reading Throne of Glass, it just does not compare in my eyes, and I don't actually like many of these characters in these books. I only really like Nesta and Asriel, and then obviously Gwen, and I always forget her name. Is it? I'm sure it begins with an E. I always forget her name, and she's one of the Valkyrie, and I feel so bad for forgetting her name, but it's been so long since I read A Court of Silver Flames. It did definitely lose me after seeing Nesta's point of view because I'm a Nesta defender till I die. I don't really love the rest of the characters. Don't get me wrong, Feyre's okay, but the way she treats her sister, I know Nesta's not a victim, or well no, I know Nesta's not innocent in all of it, but it's just so disgusting. As Feyre's a victim, like as Feyre knows what it's like to not be I don't know, to not have the best treatment with her sisters and not be treated the best by her sisters. Why would you then go and treat your sisters like rubbish? And especially because it's only Nesta. The way she treated Nesta in Court of Silver Flames was actually vile. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not hating on Feyre or Elaine by any means. They've all been through far too much and they should not have experienced anything like that because they're all just young women. At the end of the day, I do think it's kind of like, it's just, she shouldn't have treated her like that, knowing what it's like to be treated badly. But yeah, I'm not going to go any deeper into that because I could sit here talking about my opinions on ACOTAR for so long. But yeah, I'm just going to leave that there. I am Nesta's defender till I die. I'm not a character hater by any means, but I have like very little trust in a few characters in specific. We're not going to go any deeper into that because unless you'd like to have a video of me talking about my ACOTAR opinions. Yeah, then we have Awakening, which is Fall of Ruin and Wrath by Jennifer L. Armentrout. There's only one book out in this series so far. I don't know if there's any news on the second book. I enjoyed this. I listened to it as an audiobook and I would definitely go through and read it properly, I think, just to get a different vibe and to learn more about it. Honestly, I don't have much to say about this. It was good and that's all I really got from it. I can't really remember much about it because I think I listened to it a year ago now. I don't recall when I listened to this. I will definitely continue the series. Then we have Belladonna, the Belladonna series. I don't know if it has an actual name. I've only read one of these books, so I have Foxglove and Wisteria left to read out of all 3 books. It is a complete series now, I believe. I know there's a novella for this series, but beyond that it's definitely complete because it's just a trilogy. I really love Belladonna. I read it over a year ago now, and I don't know why I haven't continued the series. Because I really love book 1, I just have not gotten around to reading book 2. I genuinely could not tell you my reasoning for that because I've heard such amazing things about Foxglove, so I don't know why, but yeah, I will definitely be continuing this series. I feel like now is the perfect time to be reading this series as well because it gives the ultimate dark gothic vibes and I'm so here for that this time of year. Then we have Boys of Tommen. I've read all but Releasing 10 and obviously this series is an ongoing series. I don't know how many more books are planned to be written. I feel like that's kind of up in the air because there's rumours of Johnny and Shannon getting another book. I remember when this was released it was said that it was going to be changing between Lizzie and Hughie and then Claire and Gibbsy, but apparently at the end of this one it's confirmed that it's going to be about Lizzie and Hughie again. Chloe Walsh, babe, you're losing me. You're losing me. I adore Johnny and Shannon. I adore Claire and Gibbsy. I adore Joey and Aoife, and I adore Patrick and Katie. I don't want to sound like a hater and I don't want to be perceived as a hater because I am not. But one thing I don't enjoy about this series is Lizzie and Hughie. I don't understand where all the Lizzie and Hughie love and adoration and glazing comes from. I say this time and time again, Hughie's a cheater, which is one thing in my eyes I just cannot recover from. I also just think it's like the biggest disrespect in the world. Like, what do you mean you are with someone and you choose to cheat with someone else? A character cannot come back from that. So I don't have any interest in reading a book about him. And then there's Lizzie. She's gone through extensive amounts of trauma, but it does not allow for her behaviour. It's not even bullying, it's beyond bullying. I don't like her where I'm at because of that, because I don't feel anything towards Lizzie and then I don't like Hughie. Nothing makes me want to read this. We then have A Shadow in the Ember, and this is kind of just the Blood and Ash and Flesh and Fire series because I am reading them in the kind of interchangeable way where you read one and then go into the other. I have read the first 3 books in the Blood and Ash series and need to go into the Flesh and Fire series and then we start changing between them. So I've read 3 out of 10, I believe. I don't know if it's 10 or 11 or what. This is a ongoing series. I don't think it's finished yet and obviously I've only read 3 out of 10, so I have 7 books to go. I absolutely adored From Blood and Ash and A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire, but I do feel that the The Crown of Gilded Bones lost me a bit. I've heard amazing things about Flesh and Fire series, so I would definitely be reading this. But I just don't know if I can be bothered with the Blood and Ash series anymore. Crescent City, I have read all 3 books that are currently out, so I'm up to date with this series. It's ongoing, I think. Is there meant to be another one? House of Many Waters? I enjoyed the series. As and when the next book comes out, I have no idea, but I will definitely read it because I enjoyed the series so far. Yeah. Defy the Night, this series, I've only read the first book and I believe it's a completed trilogy, so I have 2 more books in this series to read. I read this last year and I did enjoy it. However, it wasn't a book I adored or loved by any means. I am in no rush to continue or finish this series. We then have the DC Stars series. I have read Face Off, Power Play and Slapshot, and I have Hat Trick, and then the next book, which is coming out very soon. I think it's called Sin Bin. So I have, as of now, Hat Trick to read, and then I'll be up to date until the 5th book comes out. I did really love Slapshot. It was definitely one of my favourite romances of this year. The other 2 books I didn't adore. I've heard great things about Hat Trick too, so we will see. I will get back to you on my thoughts of this series. So far, it's overall as a series, it's not my favourite. Then we have Fae and Alchemy. We have waited forever for the 2nd book in this series, and I hope it's not one of those that the first book was really good and I really enjoyed it, and then the 2nd book lets it down completely. I feel like that's always what happens when I hate to say it, when you wait so long for a 2nd book that was like so hyped up. I just hate to say it, so that's happened to me too many times for it not to be a fear in my mind. Don't get me wrong, it could be phenomenal, it could be better than this one, but it's happened to me so many times I'm just scared. I adored Quicksilver. I cannot wait for Brimstone. I really want to see where this series goes. I feel like I need to reread this to remember everything that happened. I really loved this. This was so good when I read it. It was a 5-star for me and I cannot wait for more. Reminiscent of reading ACOTAR for the first time when I really loved it. We then have Gods and Monsters. This is the 2nd book in the series. There are 3 currently out. I know the ebook of book 4 is coming out in 12 days at the end of October, but the paperback's not being released till next year. I thought everything was coming out next year, but I found out through TikTok that the ebook is coming out way earlier than the paperback. I have read the first book and I have 2 or 3 more books to go into before I'm up to date with this series. I really enjoyed book 1, but the ending didn't seem that surprising to me. I am excited to continue the series. I'm excited to see more of Deanna and Liam. Is his name Liam or Sam Keo? I don't know. So I'm excited to see more of them. I'm excited to see them grow and the plot continue, because it left off in a place where our female main character is very angry. Then we have The Hunger Games, Universe World. I have read the main trilogy and have now got to read the prequels that we have out in the world. I'm not particularly interested in the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I watched the movie and it didn't really have me. I'll completely admit that it didn't really do anything for me compared to the other movies. I'm excited for Sunrise on the Reaping, but this one is just one I kind of want to get over and done with so I can go into the next one. Then we have the Legacy of God series. I actually own none of these books so far. I've read God of Malice and then God of Wrath. So I have read them out of order, which is shocking for me. I have 4 more to read and I'm so excited for a few of these. I need to get the physical copies. I don't know why I haven't done that, but I will be buying them soon and then I will be reading them soon. I'm so excited for God of Fury. I've heard such amazing things about it, but I don't know. I'm kind of at the point where I don't know how I feel about Rena Kent because I didn't actually love God of Wrath. It doesn't mean I won't be going into it because I definitely will, but I don't know, I've got mixed feelings about her. I've heard so many good things about the rest of these books, so I'm very excited. And we have the Maid series, which I have read and I'm up to date with. There are currently 3 books out, and there's So Say going to be another one. I'm not sure when that's coming out. I think it's been a few years now, but obviously there's been no news on a 4th book. As soon as we get news, I'm going to be desperate for it, because this is one of my favourite romance series ever. I adore these books and I need to reread them ASAP. The Shades of Magic trilogy. I think this is just a trilogy. I have read the first book and have 2 more books to read in this series. Honestly, I love this book. I don't know why I haven't jumped into the next ones. I think it's because I looked at the reviews for the second book. Loads of them said it wasn't as good as the first one. Obviously, I will probably have a different opinion because everyone has different opinions on books. Yeah, I will definitely jump back into this series because I love V. Schwab's writing. I think it's just so easy to get lost in, and I really want to read more by her. So I'm very excited to continue this world because it's so intriguing. Then we have The War of Lost Hearts. I think it's a trilogy. I think there's a novella as well. Then we have the entire Shadowhunters universe world. Cassandra Clare, basically. So I have read 4, almost 5 of these books. I'm currently listening to the audiobook of Clockwork Prince, and I have 11 left. I think maybe more than that, I can't remember. It depends on if I decide to read the novellas as well as the main books, because I am reading this in the order that is suggested by Cassandra Clare, which is the first 3 books of the Mortal Instruments, then you jump into the Infernal Devices, and then you read the last Mortal Instruments, and then you go into, is it the Dark Artifices, and then the other one, I don't know, Chain of Iron. So I'm reading it in that order. And I'm thinking I'm going to read the Bane Chronicles as well, and the novellas you get with this series. I do love this entire universe in this world, and I'm really enjoying it. I am personally, I think this is an unpopular opinion, but I am enjoying the Mortal Instruments more than I am the Infernal Devices. I just don't really like the storyline. Then we have The Empyrean. I have read Fourth Wing and Iron Flame. I'm yet to read Onyx Storm. I adored Fourth Wing. I loved the entire world, the setup and the characters, and the ending destroyed me. But Iron Flame completely lost me, and it just felt like I was dragging myself through hell and back to get that book done. And I've not heard the best things about Onyx Storm. I've heard it's very different. The way Rebecca's written the world is so different, and just the way she's named the characters, like the way she calls them by their last name instead of their first name, etc. That's apparently different, so I'm not sure how I'm going to feel going into it. We then have The Friend Zone by Abby Jimenez. I have loads of Abby Jimenez books to read. I think I've got 4. I don't even like The Friend Zone, okay? But I have so much faith that I'm going to enjoy some of her books purely because of the hype and love surrounding her. I didn't like the writing of the first one. It felt very immature, but again, I'm willing to give her another chance, and I'm not sure if this book is the best chance to give her, or if I should go in with Part of Your World, Just of the Summer, etc. We'll see. I then have the Plated Prisoner series. I have read the first 3 books in this series, and I believe it's a 6-book series. So I've got 3 more books to read. I loved Guild and Glint. Gleam kind of lost me. Editing me here. I just realised how many times I said a series has lost me, or a book lost me. And do you know what? Take a shot every time. You'd be on the floor. You'd be on the floor, blacked out. I'm going to try to get through the series, and hopefully it picks back up and I enjoy it more. Although I will say I've not seen great things beyond Gleam, so I'm kind of not hopeful, but again, I'm still going to give it a chance. These books are literally, they're chunky, don't get me wrong, but the text is also huge. I was enjoying the series so much. So again, I hope it picks up for me. I've got 3 more books. Let's pray. I then have the Poppy War trilogy. I have read the Poppy War, so I still have 2 more books to go in this trilogy. I'm scared for the next 2. This was sickening. To know that it's based on real life things, it is sickening. So I'm scared for the next 2, especially because they're not the smallest books to read. We then have the When in Rome series by Sarah Adams. I believe this is still ongoing. I think there's going to be 1 more book in this series. It's about the male main character in the first book's sisters as well. So I think it's going to be 4 books for the 3 sisters and then him. But I love Sarah Adams' writing. I just find that these are so lovable. You just find yourself lost in what she is writing. I adore these. I loved both the books I've read. I can't wait to read more by her. I then have Zodiac Academy. I have read 8 out of 12 books in this series. I have 4 more to go. I am so far through this series now that I need to finish it. But I found that these books are beginning to drag, and I feel like they have included lots of content that you don't necessarily need. There's a lot of extra content that's just unnecessary to the plot. I don't want to read these and then skip over that, because I of course want to read these properly, but then it's difficult when they are this long with... Can I just show you the text size? Because I've never actually seen text this small in a book. Yeah. So I think I'm going to listen to this one on audiobook just to get through it. And then we've only got 1 main book left. I started this in January and it's October. I haven't read one of these books since, I want to say, June. Then we have the Darkverse series. I have read the first 2 books out of 6. So I have 4 left to read. I am so excited for this series because I adored the first 2 books and we get different characters now. I think each book from here on out is a different character, so I'm very excited for that. These books have just been picked up for traditional publishing as well, and I literally just bought the first 2 books as indie versions, and I don't know if they're going out of print, so I don't know whether I need to grab the rest of the series in their indie editions before, or if I can just like buy them as I read them, because if they are going out of print I want them to match. So I don't know what to do. This is not to do with this video, but I feel like so many books are being traditionally published right now. There are loads that I want to get the indie editions of, self-published versions that are being picked up as we speak. I follow this person who does posts to say you should get them before they go out of print. And the Compelling Fate saga, so A Tongue So Deadly and Sweet, is that it? Is going out of print as well. Then I have An Ember in the Ashes, The Ember Quartet. I have read the first 2 books in this series. I have the last 2 left to read. So far I have absolutely adored this series and I cannot wait to see how it ends. I'm not sure where this book specifically is going because we're between now. We're between the beginning and the ending, and I'm not sure where it's going to go to lead to the last book, and I'm not sure where the last book's even going to lead. I am so afraid that one of these main characters is going to die. I'm very, very scared for all of these characters. We then have the Legacy series by Melissa K. Roerick. I'm not sure how you pronounce her name. I have read the first book in this series, Reign of Shadows and Endings, and I have 3 more to go. Book 4 is coming out in just under a month's time, I think. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's the end of November. It's coming out very soon, so I do want to get up to date with these books before, so I can then go straight into that once it's on my doorstep. I absolutely adored the first book, and I just need to see where it goes. I need to know more about this world, and I need to know everything there is to know. And I also really want to read her other series. I don't know how you're meant to read these, so I decided to pick up this series first, the Legacy series, and then go into the Darkness series. But I'm planning on getting through this entire series and then going into that one. The House of Devils series. This is incomplete. I don't know how many more books there are meant to be because this has also just been picked up for trad publishing. I have yet to read beyond book 1. They are just so chunky and the text has gotten smaller, guys, so I'm scared to go into these, but I'm also very excited. I've got 3 books to read to get myself up to date, and then I think there's going to be 1 or 2 more books. I'm terrified. I've heard that these all end on quite devastating cliffhangers. We then have Stonewater Kingdom. We have just under a year until the second and final book in this duology is out. I love Rachel Gillig so much. She can write a gothic fantasy so perfectly that it will have you sat and hooked and wanting to finish the entire book in one sitting. I love this. I actually prefer this to her Shepherd's King duology. I really enjoyed this and I cannot wait for the second book. I need it. Wells Ranch. This is the first book that I've read. I've only read 1 book in this series. I think there are going to be 5. I don't know if the series is complete after the 5th book or if it is still ongoing, but we will find out. So I've got 4 more books so far to continue with. And you know, I really enjoyed this. It was just a fun, quick, easy cowboy romance. It was fun and enjoyable, nothing too crazy. It was just a really good palate cleanser and I feel like I need more of those. Then the Undone series. I am up to date with this so far. I've read both Unsteady and Unloved. I think there's another book coming out, but the covers are changing. The cover for the next book that is in this series is different to the first 2. I'm excited for the next one. I don't know how I feel about Peyton Corin's writing so far. I loved Unsteady, didn't love Unloved, and I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about the rest of her books. And we have Silver Pines, so Holding the Reins, Training the Heart, Riding the High. Now, there are meant to be 2 more books in this series, I believe. I have loved the series so far and I cannot wait for the rest of the books. I just think they're Chestnut Springs sort of vibes. I know that's hard to say because I feel like nothing has met Chestnut Springs vibes yet, but this is along the same lines. You shouldn't really go into a book obviously thinking it's going to be like something else, but this is the closest it's been to it and I love it. And we have Bloodwing Academy by Briar Bolin. I have read the first 2 books in this series. Now I don't know if this is going to be a trilogy or if it's going to be more. Went into it thinking it's a trilogy and I don't believe it is. I'm currently up to date with this series. I know there's the 3rd book coming out next year. I believe it's either March or May. I'm not 100% sure about when it's being released, but I'm very excited for that one. I have adored this series so far, and again, I don't know if it's a series or a trilogy. I'm sure I've heard somewhere that it's not a trilogy, but I don't know why I got it into my mind that it is. And the last series that I'm currently in the middle of is the Hollow Boys series. This is the most recent series I've started and I am absolutely eating it up. I read The Lies We Steal and I finished The Truths We Burn yesterday. So I read both of those over the past weekend and I loved it so much. I'm loving these books and I love these characters. I love when a author writes a female character that is as strong than the main male character. I just think it's so fun to see. So I am loving this. I love Monty J's writing and I'm so excited to continue this series. It is 5 books. I've read 2 books out of 5. So I have the duet of Thatcher and Lyra next, and then I have Silas and Coraline. I'm very excited for those, and I believe there's going to be, or is already, a 2nd gen series. That is it. Those are all the series that I'm currently in the middle of. I believe most of those I have physically. That's it. That's a lot of books. I'm going to make it my absolute aim to start working through these series a lot more and trying to complete in a closer time frame. That's it for now. I'm sure I'm going to start loads more because that's what I do, but yeah, I've got loads of good series to continue and to complete. Lots of them are obviously incomplete series and still ongoing, so some I won't be able to fully complete for a while. For most of it, I have some I can definitely get through and make a priority to finish. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, like, subscribe, comment, let me know. And I hope to see you in the next one. And hopefully at some point we can get through and complete / continue some of these series together. I will see you all very soon.